Was shot twice, once in the arm, once in the neck. The bullet that entered through my neck is ultimately the bullet that changed my life forever. That bullet took away my legs, took away a lot of things. I lost one of my best friends that night, or I mean, really two of my best friends. The guy that shot me was one of my best friends, and then when he shot his brother, he was also, a very dear friend of mine. And I really had to start from square one. I had to relearn life. Learn life without legs. That changed a lot of things, but from that day on, I've definitely gained an appreciation for life. I mean, tomorrow is never promised, and nowhere does it say that tomorrow's promised. But for some reason, a lot of people live as if tomorrow is promised, and they push off a lot of their own challenges and obstacles to tomorrow. So that's ultimately what I've learned, is that tomorrow is never promised, and all that we have is today, and it's all about capitalizing and moving forward, and never letting anything stop you.
Yeah, I'm curious. I know we've talked about this, offline. Did you ever have a gut? Sometimes when life events happen, there's a gut feeling like, should I go? Did you ever think about not going? Were you not going to go that night, or was it just,
Yeah, it
nope,
was.
I was going to go, I was going to plan, and then these events happen?
Yeah, that's the craziest part. So actually, it happened on a Saturday. I went from Warrensburg back to Columbia. My sister was a cheerleader at Mizzou. So that Friday night, I went back to see her. Went out, and it definitely crossed my mind. I was, on the fence. Should I just head back up to Warrensburg? Should I just, go to this party? My girlfriend at the time, she was a soccer player at Warrensburg. She stayed with me throughout the entirety of everything. I've definitely blessed in that department. She's my rock for sure. And so I was definitely on the fence. I didn't know whether to go to the party, go back to Warrensburg. For some reason, I decided I needed to be at that party. And everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer in that, 100%. So I ultimately think that was the right choice. I mean, I've definitely learned a whole different appreciation for this crazy thing we called life due to the events that I went through, and I think it was valuable nevertheless.
Yeah. Give us a glimpse of the events happened. You were shot twice. Obviously, you went to the hospital. You were clinging to life for a minute, right? You didn't know if and your family came, and you know, I know we don't have hours to talk about this, but talk about kind of the journey. A little bit about the journey from kind of the when you realized what happened to you're fully back
Yeah.
doing the things that you're doing,
Yeah,
and
I
we'll
mean,
get into that in just a minute too.
yeah, for sure. I was definitely at rock bottom when it happened. I didn't know if I was going to even make it. I was trying to breathe. Long story short, I got on a helicopter, got life flighted to the university, spent about a week and a half in the ICU. They got me stable. I went from the ICU to Rusk Rehab Center in Columbia. I kind of picked up pretty quick that I needed more intensive care than what they could provide me with. So that's when my mom did what moms do best. She, got on her computer, started doing some magic, and before I knew it, I was getting on a jet, and I was flown out to Denver, Colorado, to Craig Rehab Center, and that's exactly what I needed. I spent about 3 months out there, relearning everything. I mean, both my arms got taken away. Basically, I was shot in the brachial plexus. That's what controls all the nerves going down your right arm. My left arm, where I got shot, they completely had to rebuild my elbow.